tuned with us if you're on one of those 22 alumni locations. We're going to talk with a very special member of the Clarkson board, and Nancy Reyda, currently working her way into the press box. Nancy, a distinguished leader who's held senior leadership roles among finance, oil, and the gas services. Also a Clarkson University bachelor's from 1981, and it's my pleasure now to welcome Miss Nancy into the broadcast booth here. But
hey, everybody.
Nancy might not be what some of our friends watching know you as. You went by Nadia at Clarkson University.
And I had big curly hair, a little bit different than the current mode, but it's great to be here with everyone today.
Well, I'm trying to bring it back to the 1980s here with my get-up, but much different since you've taken over here. We have 400 alumni who are joining us and listening in right now, 22 different locations across the country. And well, let's start it off by looking back. 1981, obviously the biggest change is that we're in Shield Arena here. You were the Walker era.
We were the Walker era.
But what are some of the biggest differences and maybe some similarities, things that haven't changed at Clarkson?
All right, so the biggest similarity, absolutely the same as when we were out here, was walking to campus at 8 a.m. at 10 below and taking that deep breath of freezing cold Adirondack air and feeling great about it. So I loved it. It's been a really cold week, and we really enjoyed being on campus. Obviously bundled up, so we're warm, but enjoying that Adirondack feeling.
Well, you're here on a perfect weekend. It's the first polar vortex that we've had this season. What were some of the necessities you had to pack as you returned to Potsdam?
Well, I've got my hockey garb, as you can see, and my favorite, which is a Clarkson leather sweater from back in the day. Yeah, it's easy. Once you've lived here for 4 years, you know exactly how to show up and survive. So.
I'm going to have to find a way to get myself one of those. I'll have to talk to Josh Bartel, and maybe he's old enough to, he probably remembers back to the 1950s or so. But for those of our friends who are watching, again, 400 plus that are in the attendance in our remote locations. What are some of the biggest things they're missing by not choosing to be here? And we have an upcoming alumni weekend that maybe they could make the trip up for.
Absolutely. So we're here with our best friends from back in the day, Peg and Rich Hewitt, class of 81. And we're sitting in the stands and yelling, "Let's go Tech." Like the place vibrates. It's really alive. It's really amazing. Sitting in front of us is another whole crew of friends and roommates. There's something really special about coming home and experiencing that together. So get back up here and give it a try, because it's really been beautiful. Beautiful week.
So we're amidst a leadership change here at Clarkson, and Dave Heacock has taken over. Talk a little bit about how the leadership search is going. What do you foresee for the future of Clarkson as some of the friends that are watching us here look forward and continue to progress technology and all that Clarkson stands for in the engineering front?
Yeah, absolutely. So a shout out to Dave Heacock, class of 83, put his life on hold and came up to campus, and as a fellow trustee is the acting president for this academic year. He's doing a great job. The kids love him. He loves the kids. And the energy on campus is just wonderful. We are in the search process. Shout out to John Mangucci, class of 84, also vice chair of the board with me. He's heading up the search committee. We decided not to outsource it. Like, this is our school. We're going to pick the next president. So we got out there. We got some candidates together. We started at about 60, I want to say. Went through a rigorous process of review. We're down to 20, then 12. Now down around 4 or 5. We're getting there, and we're hoping for a board decision here sometime in the next month or so. And by the way, it's not just trustees involved in the decision. We've got representatives from faculty, staff, undergrad, graduate students, the Alumni Association. It's pretty cool. It's everyone's all in.
You mentioned the active community here, and obviously the Clarkson community. All of you who are out here supporting, so important to the success of our school. If you can give any advice for anybody maybe looking to try to help out and continue the success of Clarkson, what advice would you give them to helping our programs?
Listen, we have an amazing alumni community. We have alumni involved in engaging prospective students and getting them to make the commitment to come. We have alumni that are showing up on campus and teaching classes and helping to build micro-credentials. We have alumni hiring our kids, and we have alumni mentoring our kids. I mean, we have the best alumni community of anything I've ever seen, and if you're not involved, come on up. We would love to have you. Lisa Jeffers is the leader of our Alumni Association. She's amazing. She's actually also on our search committee. And there's plenty of things you can do. And by the way, end of the month, February 28th, March 1st, is Cold Out, KOGO weekend, which is kind of similar to those of us who were way back in the day, Ice Carnival weekend. Come on up. It's going to be a blast.
Well, Nancy, you talk about how wonderful Clarkson is. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us here in the press box. Clarkson Hockey on ESPN Plus and B99.3. Stay tuned on the radio side. The Johnson Towing and Auto Repair Intermission Report is up next. Bob and I will be back. Thank you, Nancy.
Go Tech.